Hey guys, it's Joey A. I'm back. We left off last time. I showed you Dave Schultz's bike, and just recently I purchased a new project, which was it was an ad in Super Eliminator that somebody had forwarded to me, and I kind of fell in love with the look, the design, and not knowing what it really was. And when I read further into it, I just was intrigued by the guy's ingenuity and his talent. And then when I spoke to him, realizing that I had stumbled across something very unique, and he had spent so much time with it, getting to know me and me getting to know him, who's a major H2 enthusiast out in far out in Pennsylvania, very close to Ohio. We became friends, and I said, if this is everything you say, I'm interested in. And I went and drove out 12, 14 hours each way. He got this bike running in 2 seconds, and it was everything plus. And I'm gonna share it with you, but we're gonna have a little fun with this, because I don't want to tell you what it is right away. You guys might have seen the advertisement, so it's a dead ringer giveaway, but for those who haven't, it's started off as an H2 with an H1 frame, and obviously he modified and chromolyed the entire frame of this bike. I'm trying to hide some stuff so you don't know exactly what it is, but I did some naturally cleaning up, modifying, changing, altering a lot of things on it, and getting it to the state where it is right now. And I'm going to tell you a lot more about it. But he, as a fabricator who works out of his garage and altering all original stock parts, he built, all these little things that to me was very impressive, out of a shed and so forth. He micro switched the Magora throttle, and which was a stock throttle. He just made it like the one that you can buy. He created his own step, because the bike does run a nitrous setup. Runs on very low octane fuel, basically regular, and it's water cooled. I'm going to show you throwing the switch for the water pump and the fan. I rigged up, because I needed a power source, I rigged up this head temperature gauge. It's in blue so you can see even though it's sunny outside. So that was really, really nifty. And I put my own kill switch. He had a makeshift kill switch. It was amazing. It was just a regular piece of wire, and it fell off. It ripped the wire and opened the circuit, and it was wild. I put this Magora rear brake and the traditional Grameca early 70s, like myself when I started drag racing. I went to the classic Sirianni front end, because I build bikes around Sirianni front ends. I just love the way they look, and especially since I build a lot of bikes which are 2 strokes, and this gives it a nice flare, and it's just perfect for the era. It's got a Grameca caliper and a floating rotor, little nice touch, brand new rim, brand new tire. Goodyear's, I can't seem to find Goodyear, and I always loved the way they put the race letter in it and so forth, but everybody steered me to Mickey Thompson, and I always loved Mickey Thompson too. Put a new steering dampener on it. So we're running Mickey's all the way around, front and rear. Here's another view of the front end. I cleaned up the wiring. I still got to do some more. And I did strip down the bike and degreased and touched up a lot of the paintwork and so forth. Get it nice and dry and clean. And the motor was dry when I got it. And I'm going to show you the original front end that he had modified, and he took it from a Kawasaki 400 lightweight fork tubes, like 35 millimeter or 34 millimeters, I'm not quite sure. And he shortens, the springs and the tubes, and built his own bracket for the steering dampener, which I changed, and put an 18-inch rim, put heavier brakes so it would stop. You could actually still see the speedo drive that he used as a spacer instead of making one. He just continued with makeshift. It was great. And I really liked the way he builds. And to me, it was like using no money and making it go. It was, to me, exciting and fun. What I did do, which these are custom-made expansion chambers. It looks like a giant octopus wrapped around this machine. I had to put longer, doing some investigating on back pressure on this motor, stingers that were 15-inch long, and the inner diameter is over an inch. It's an inch hole. It's amazing. And the pipes that came with this bike originally were 90 degree, tiny little muffler tips. You can't even call them stingers, but it went to a collector box that created more back pressure because it was used for recreational riding. And it has no gearbox, but it does have a transfer case that transfers the power from the crank across a shaft to this transfer box, across again to the output shaft, and to the rear chain and sprocket. The sitting quarters, the driving quarters are tight. He and I are about the same size, so it was perfect. He weighed 220 and I weigh, right now I'm down from 195 to, I went to 170. It was a little too light and went up to 180. I feel healthier and fit really, really nice in there. So quarters are tight, especially now with those stingers being there. My legs are really right there, tight. Not much room for using body English or steering this bike down a quarter mile. And what looks like a supercharger that everybody thinks is another tight quarter. My knee just about rides right up on it. And that pretty much will give it away. That is your clutch. And the tack on this bike basically is used for setting up the clutch, because it's like a torque converter and drives the whole motor cycle and its gear ratio through that. So if you guys haven't figured it out yet, this will tell the story. It is a 1995 Pantera Arctic-saki, what they call a ZRT 800 cc water cooled. Produces about 150 horsepower box stock. This motor is box stock with a 220-pound rider. It has run 10 O's on 87 octane regular gas, a 40-to-1 oil ratio, with the nitrous setup. It's one stage of nitrous. Its bike's gone 940s with him. Has much more potential. Now I've lightened the front end, lightened the driver, knocking off probably 2/10 all the way around. So hopefully I got into 980s and probably 920s with the nitrous with a stock motor. It says this bike was really designed and built for bracket racing. He wanted reliability, 1-2 pull starts. It has a pull start. That's pretty cool. Try it here. I changed that too so everybody can see it. It's nice and red. There you go. Can't really see too much of it. The muffler's all in the way. That's it right there. It's a pull start. Man, once you prime this bike, it has no choke. You hold the throttle wide open. Use the injector, nitrous setup, fuel pump to fuel the engine. Close the throttle, shut the injectors down first, naturally close the throttle, and give it 1-2 pulls, you're done. Sometimes on 1 pull it starts right up. But I'm going to try to get on the other side. put that little reflector tape. And they're really, really cool. I matched the same manufacturer for the front and rear. So we have the same manufacturers running our rims all the way around. The wheelie bars, I rebuilt them all the way around, all the heim joints, all the nuts and bolts. Got rid of all the rusty nuts and bolts and went to stainless steel and brand new wheelie wheels. So it's all detail. I really love detail, getting things back in order and pretty and nice, and have something to look at besides it running and sound like it's running great. But you know, to view it and see it, this type of machine out of a a shed in Pennsylvania, it was amazing. He's great. Steve and I have become good friends, and bike, I wanted to get it down to the track and make it run as fast as I possibly can. His little bird's eye view of Schultz's machine, which I got running last week. Had a little clutch issue with it because I had a bunch of clutches and I don't recall which one was the exact clutch, so I kind of, without measuring anything, put it together naturally. When I took all the slack out of the cable, it binded with the clutch puller, which means that one of the plates are too big, so I'm not getting the right throw. And but it ran. I rode up the block, ran great. This baby's amazing. It's got a torque converter naturally, like a snowmobile at 4,500 RPMs. When you're just revving it and at 2,000, you just build up some RPM and she'll start to coast a little bit. You push away and she'll start to roll on. You bring the RPM to 4 grand. She starts to grab. You hit that between 4 and 4,500 and she just launches so smooth. And when I hit 5 grand, I'm doing 70 miles an hour down the block. It's amazing. It's so cool. And he told me the bike is so smooth. It does have crank modifications besides the bike being a stock motor. He pulled out the balances out of it. Didn't need it anymore. Did weld the crank. But the rest of the bike is stock. So I really consider it a stock motor. A lot of suspension modifications and the nitrous. And that's the new project. Glad you guys took the time to take a look at this one. And I hope to run into you all at the track. And if you got any comments, thank you for some of the comments that you guys wrote about Dave's bike. Rob, thanks a lot. Sorry I haven't emailed you, but I'll probably try to send you a message and tell you a little story about me and Dave myself. And I appreciate you guys seeing this. It's a few days away from Halloween, and the holidays is rolling around, so I want to wish everybody happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving, and happy Hanukkah, Christmas, and a prosperous new year, and hopefully a healthy one for all. And at the racetrack we'll get together and talk, sit on these machines, take some pictures and have a good time. And possibly next time I'm going to give you a lowdown on my flat track XR 750. It's a street legal, real 1970 Ironhead XR 750 with a lot of cool history. It's another Dave Schultz memorabilia type of history. I mentioned a few names like Evel Knievel had a little something with this, and Roger Reedman, who was the number one 1971 road racer for Harley Davidson, who was Evel Knievel's mechanic and actually rode this bike. So we'll talk more again. Thanks guys for coming by and stepping into my little toolbox, shed, whatever you want to call my toy box. And get together, we'll talk soon, okay? Thanks a lot guys. See you then. Bye.